to 3 times 10. So I'm going to give you 30 career management pieces of advice based on my 30 years of industry experience, based on real life, what I've seen, what I see happen and still see happen, and based on theory. So here we go. These are the first 10. So the first one is choose a boss and not a big famous brand per se. I've seen many people choosing big names, big household names over a direct boss. And my experience is that, if you are able to work for a great boss, this is going to bring you much more value at the end of the day than working for a famous brand, especially in the first years of your professional life. Let's say the first 10 years, you basically want to learn, learn, learn. 2, this is also connected to point number 1. So when you're learning, work or look at great role models, people that inspire you, that you can learn from, and you may want to copy some of their effective and great behaviors. It doesn't mean that you have to do everything they are doing or mindlessly copy their behavior. You need to find your own voice. But I think for the beginning, the early days, working for some great role models is really going to bring you a lot. So look for role models, copy what is great, don't copy what is not so great, and ultimately, build on it and find your own voice based on, your character, what you learn in the business. Point number 3, get to know yourself better. Self-knowledge is the beginning of all wisdom. Socrates already taught this us thousands of years ago. I think if you have an opportunity, take some self-assessments, take some personality questionnaires, talk it through with an expert, but watch out to just go on the internet and just do whatever you feel is appropriate. There's a lot of not so great assessments out there, but if you work with an expert, it can really bring you a lot of insights to get to know yourself better. So I think if you know yourself better, this is going to be a major, major building block that you need to build your career on. Number 4, be open to feedback. Feedback probably will hurt a little bit every now and then, but if you do not get a lot of feedback, this is going to hold you back at some point. So I've been in numerous situations with very senior people, but people do not, often really tell you what's going on, depending on the culture a bit too. But also in the most open cultures I have worked in and still work in, there is a bit of hesitation for people to tell each other what they really think about them. So the trick here is just to ask for it, and continue to ask for it, and just say thank you, and be patient with the people that have the courage to tell you what they really think about your behavior. So not only be open to feedback, but especially continue to ask for feedback, not only in the beginning of your career, but especially I think when you go to more media or even more senior positions. Point number 5, continue to learn. It's a bit of a cliche, but continuous learning or lifelong learning is, I think, the basis now. But it's not only formal learning. Although I think, some formal training with a decent diploma and, you really pulled something off, studied hard, took your exams, had the stress from it, etc., proves, I think, that you can process a certain amount of work, that you can synthesize what you have been learning. But also on the informal side, there is so much opportunity these days to continue to learn, think about, background articles, think about YouTube, think about all the learning platforms that are out there that are, that have more or less free content. So a good combination of formal learning and informal learning. Number 6, work hard and smart. My experience is that you cannot make real progress by being lazy. All the successful people I have worked with and still work with, they know when to peak, and that doesn't mean that they always work hard, because that would be not advisable. But they know when to peak, and at the same time they know when they have to persevere. Where perhaps other people stop. But I've also seen a lot of people that are really efficient with their time. So, perhaps if you have a cat, look at your cat at home, and use your cat perhaps a bit as a role model here. Number 7, stay mentally balanced. And I cannot advise you, what works for you. I guess it's different for everybody, but you need to find ways to develop, a habit of staying mentally sane, staying mentally in balance. And I know for some of us that can be, going for a run in the evening. For some of us that can be, participating in a team sport in the weekend. For some of us that can be meditation. For some of us that can be yoga. I don't know what works for you, but I have learned that people, life is more than just work. So you need to find a way to maintain your balance in life. Number 8, stay physically in balance too. I think that especially when you get to, let's say over 30, prioritize keeping your body in shape. There is a saying, I believe, that, the first 30 years, your body takes care of you. And of course, I don't know how old you are when you are watching this video, but the first 30 years, your body takes care of you. But the next 60 years, you have to take care of your body. And that is not an automated thing that is going on here. So you need to carve out time to maintain your body in whatever way that is needed. So really take very good care of it, because you only have one. And then number 9, influence what you can influence. And do not focus on the things that you cannot influence. And have the wisdom to differentiate between the two. So learn to see what can I influence and what can I not do influence, and let go of the things that you cannot influence. And then the last of this video series is number 10. Develop a political antenna. When you are growing in your career, you will have to learn to navigate in one way or another the office politics that are going on. If you are not aware of what is really going on, the things that are really being said, under the reading between the lines, you can get really caught by surprise. And I've also seen oftentimes how this happens to also some great, great, great people. And I am not advising you to become a bureaucrat or, to put too much time in office politics, but you cannot allow yourself to not understand what is actually going on. So you need to learn to play the game a little bit. So these are my first 10 pieces of career advice, and I will continue in the next video with the next 10. So in total, if you spend 30 minutes, you will have had 30 pieces of career advice based on my experience. So hope the first inspired you.